Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is your Tarot, Rune, Oracle, and Astro Dice reading for the month of September 2023. The rune that came out for you is Thorisaz in reversed. And this is the rune of boundaries. As you can see, it looks like a thorn, and it tells us to keep our guard up and protect ourselves. So having this come out in reverse to represent September is kind of a little bit of a warning of danger, okay? And guys, I don't predict anything like death or illness, anything like that, but I think you should pay attention to your intuition very strongly when you're receiving this reading right now. And I'm saying, like, this is the rune of danger, this is the rune of malicious intent, or this is the rune of, like, be careful, have boundaries. What about your life right now comes to mind? What is popping into your head right now? Be careful, danger, malicious intent, have boundaries, be very cautious. You know, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a habit that you have. It could be something in your life that's a tricky situation. What is coming to your head right now? Okay? Take care of yourself and make sure that you have the proper precautions and boundaries set in place to nurture and care for yourself in case anything goes wrong. So Aquarius, this could, for example, be setting up an emergency savings fund for yourself just in case something goes wrong. This could be doing background checks on people that you're dating. This could be, it could be a lot of things. Just making sure that you're covered, okay? Just making sure that you're safe. I'm not saying that anything bad is going to happen. September just feels like a month where you are ensuring your safety, your sanity, and easing your anxieties by just making sure that everything is, like, worst case scenario is taken care of. You get what I'm saying? So your Astro Dice, we have Uranus in Capricorn in the 8th house. It's kind of hard to show you, but there it is. Uranus in Capricorn in the 8th house. So I am seeing, first off, with Uranus, I am seeing your knowledge growing and expanding, your conscious awareness growing and expanding. A lot of wisdom will be gained this month for sure. I'm also seeing you challenging people's ideas and beliefs here, and standing up for yourself may be the way forward. So for example, like, if you're dealing with someone who has a less kind or emotionally mature way of thinking, this could be you, defending your perspective and explaining to this person, why that's wrong or why your way is right, and kind of acknowledging that about them and keeping that in the back of your mind when it comes to future decision making. You know what I'm saying? So essentially paying attention to the red flags is what I'm trying to say here. Pay attention to the red flags, pay attention to the green flags and the yellow flags, all the flags, okay? With Capricorn here, this could be in your workplace, and I'm also seeing in your financial life, okay? Making sure, like I said, you have an emergency savings fund, that you're financially prepared for anything that could happen. And I'm, again, not predicting that anything is going to happen, but it's just an ease of mind type of thing. So doing that. And then we have all of this in the 8th house, which is the house of Scorpio, the house of major transformation, life or death, marriage, divorce, babies, sickness, like all of that crazy, like, life or death energy coming through here. I do wonder if some of you watching are going through, like, custody battles, divorce, like ugly divorce battle, like lawsuit energy. I do wonder that a bit. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying some of you watching may be going through that right now. And there's a lot here about, like, protecting your assets, protecting your ass, guys. Okay. Preventing that from happening as well. Next, we have the oyster spirit representing September for you, and we see here this oyster has a hard outer shell, right? And they're protecting all of the hard work that they put into forming the pearl that's inside here, beautiful, beautiful pearl. It doesn't just happen immediately for oysters. Like, it is something that happens over a lot of time, and they protect that with their shell, okay? So I'm seeing here for some of you, sign a prenup, okay? Sign a prenup. Like, it's that type of energy. It's like, you can be in love. I'm not saying anything bad is happening. Like, be in love, make bold decisions, you know, live your best life, but make sure your assets and yourself are safe, okay? Establish some type of fund or like protection for yourself, just in case the worst case scenario happens here, okay? That's what the oyster is teaching you as well. Protect yourself. Some of you may be ready to open up a little bit more to someone or something, get a little bit more vulnerable, and that's fine and dandy, but Spirit's saying, like, again, just make sure that that foundation of self-protection is there. I'm not telling you to be closed off to everyone you meet. I'm not telling you to be on edge. I'm not telling you to, you know, be paranoid, but I feel like it's easier for you to be vulnerable and open up and really show your true beautiful colors to people when you know in the back of your mind that you're okay. You have a safety system, you have security, your root chakra is activated, okay? So you might want to do some root chakra work this month. From the Moonology deck, we have new moon eclipse, expect powerful change, okay? Right off the bat with this card, like, I'm just getting really big energy for Aquarius this month. Big life changes, big shifts going on in the energies around you. So definitely expect that. Okay, eclipses are times of powerful endings and new beginnings, like that Scorpio energy we were feeling earlier. So any endings that are going on right now, it's because there's a huge new, big, beautiful beginning coming through. Next, we have the Thinking Woman in reversed. Okay, this is interesting with Thorisaz coming out in reversed as well. I am seeing here someone you might want to watch out for. And I didn't do this for any other group, but I just really feel guided to read this card from the book for you. So there must be a message in here that's really important for you to know. And I just opened up right to the page. Okay, this card reversed, and let me just show you the card as I'm reading. This card in reversed could represent a difficult time for your own personal growth. You may be feeling confused about your personal purpose or disconnected from your heart's true path. Look within and open up to your own inner guidance. Trust your intuition about what you need to learn in order to move on. The Thinking Woman reversed could also indicate a woman who is misleading you or giving you misinformation of some sort. Be aware and set boundaries. Remember, your own spirit is always your best guide. So that last part is what I really felt like you needed to hear. I definitely am seeing signs here of someone misleading you on purpose. And this could be a divine feminine energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I feel like for the majority of you, this might be a woman giving you wrong information, or a feminine person giving you wrong information or really bad advice. Okay, now let me give you an example of why this could occur. Spirit's bringing up a memory from my own mind. I used to have a best friend who, honestly, really toxic friendship, very codependent, and she had a lot of signs of being jealous of me, which didn't make any sense, but whatever. And I remember I got into a really happy, healthy relationship for like the first time in my life, and I'm a few months in, and she's single and bitter, okay? And every time I would hang out with her, I would be talking about my relationship, and she would say things like, oh, are you sure he's not cheating on you? Like this and that, like planting insecurities into my head. And I'm like, oh, are they cheating on me? So now her reason for doing that was very malicious. Whether she was able to admit that or not, you know, that's beyond me. But it was very malicious because it was rooted in jealousy and wanting me to be at her level of misery. Sometimes people just think like that, and as someone watching tarot readings and into spirituality, it may be hard for you to comprehend that, but legitimately some people just, that's the way their mind works, and they would rather have everyone be at their level of misery or lower in order to make themselves feel better, as opposed to doing the hard but necessary things they need to do to raise themselves up. Okay, some people are like that, and sometimes we fall into traps like that, and we could be a really good, kind, awesome person, super loving, but just be in a phase in our lives where we are unhappy, and we kind of it's not a conscious thing always, subconsciously say things like wanting to bring people back down to your level. It happens. Okay, I am seeing here there may need to be some boundaries that you put in place for someone like this. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so many other examples, like my mom, for example. Someone I have to put boundaries up with because I travel a lot and she just watches the news all the time. So she's like, Laura, everywhere in the world hates Americans, and you're gonna get abducted and you're gonna get sold into sex slavery and blah 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 blah. She says these things out of fear. Also, I think she might be a little jealous because she ain't never traveled in her life, because we don't have to get into that, but you have to ask yourself, what is the reason that this person is planting fear into my head, and how can I set up some boundaries here? So yeah, I'm seeing an energy like that with you, so just be aware. 9 cards out for you, 3 rows of 3. First card out is the Hierophant in reversed. Yes, this is totally correlating with what we just said with the Thinking Woman in reversed here, guys. This is the card, when it's in reversed, it's saying, take your own counsel. The advice that you may be getting from the people around you is most likely not accurate, is probably not in your best interest, okay? So listen to your intuition, especially when it comes to things like relationships and your life purpose, because you're the one that knows you the best. You're the one that knows your relationship the best. And your intuition is the number one most accurate thing to get advice from, 100% accurate all the time, if you know how to listen to it and act on it. So having the Hierophant come out in reversed, and having the Thinking Woman come out in reversed, and having Thorisaz come out in reversed, and having the Oyster Spirit come out for you guys, I am telling you, keep your cards close to your chest this month. Listen, go to yourself for advice, okay? Honestly, try to avoid asking for advice this month is what I would say in general. Listen to what your intuition is saying and go for it. If you're having a hard time with that, by the way, what I like to do is journal out what I need advice on, or what my problem is, in one color ink. This will just be free thinking, so-and-so happened and blah, 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 right? I do that in a black or blue ink. And then I get a fun color, like pink or some other color, and I'll write down, just kind of not even thinking about it, just my intuition or spirit. And oftentimes I'll end my rant with spirit, what should I do about this? And then I switch pens and I just write a response and just start doing that. And whatever flows out, flows out. That is a really powerful and beautiful way to get in touch with your own intuition, with spirit, and with your own higher consciousness. I highly recommend it. Second card out for you is the Hanged Man in reversed. Okay, there is a dilemma in your life that is in suspension. This could be a relationship or a decision that you have not made yet. There's something that's in suspension here. And that might be why you're tempted to go to other people for advice, because it seems like it's in this purgatory energy, but don't go within. Third card out, we have the 3 of Wands in reversed, and it says established strength. I just feel something in the future bubbling up for you. Okay, this could be new significant relationship, possibly. You might be in the talking phase right now, or the dating phase right now. Or this could be travel that you're planning on doing, or a move that you're thinking about. And I feel like it's really heavy on your mind. It's kind of in this purgatory energy, where it's not manifested yet. It's just kind of hanging in suspension in your mind. Second row out for you, 4th card, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reversed. Whew. I want to see what card's next to this. The Magician in reversed. Okay. All right. I'm just going to keep looking at the cards. 6, okay, Death in reversed. This is your whole middle row is... Oh, actually, we have 6 cards on the table so far right now, and 5 of them are Major Arcana. Like I said, This is a really significant month for Aquarius. Final row out, we have Two of Wands upright. I just want to see all the cards, so let's see. We have love with the Two of Cups. And we have the Seven of Cups, illusionary success. Okay. Really interesting stuff I am seeing here, guys. Honestly, I feel like there may be someone jealous of your life and the ideas that you're going towards right now. For example, if you have a relationship that's developing and it seems to be really promising and beautiful, I feel like there may be someone jealous around you. Or if you're like traveling or becoming more successful in career, starting your own business, doing something really exciting for you, planning for a baby, something like that, something really pure, really innocent, really fun, good for you, growth here. I would be very, very suspicious if someone tried to talk you out of that or have you thinking everything that could go wrong here, which is funny because earlier on I'm like, prepare for the worst case scenario. And now I'm saying I feel like there's someone in your life who is like bringing up the worst case scenarios and kind of down talking a really positive idea for you. And I feel like you need to protect yourself from this person's negative energy, because that's what it is. It's negative energy. And Magician reversed, this is kind of manipulative energy. Someone wants to keep you stuck. Keep you doing the same old thing you always did. This feels like this could be someone you've known for a really long time too. It's like if you have an old friend and like they still do the same old stuff they've been doing since high school, like going to the same bar, drinking the same drinks, doing the same thing, bumming it, like maybe even still living with their parents, whatever. And you're out here being an adult, growing up, doing your thing, living your best life. It's like, be careful of haters that mask themselves as friends. Or if they're all in miserable marriages and you're like, I'm getting divorced and I'm living my best life. Or you're single and or even like you're not single, you're just in a happy relationship and living a really good, happy, healthy life. Like, I would be very, very weary of the people who try to infuse negative energy into that, because that's what I'm seeing this month for you. So be very cautious of that. Honestly, Death reversed is showing us these people are not worth having in your life, period. And it's in reverse, so I don't think you're going to burn bridges with these people. I don't think you're going to let whoever this is go. But you should consider it, guys. You should consider it because it feels very negative energy. And Spirit's saying, look, if you're going to keep them in your life, at least like don't go to them for advice and be very cautious. When you're in the very, very beginning stages of new ideas, like maybe you shouldn't bring that up to this person. Yeah. I am seeing happiness though in a relationship of yours, really fulfilling friendship or connection. It does feel romantic mostly. Like I said, many of you might be dating and really falling in love with someone, and there's a lot of potential here for this to be something really beautiful and great. Don't let outside influences kind of manipulate you into thinking that this is something really negative. And, I don't know. I'm just seeing that. You get the point. We're also seeing Two of Wands here, which stands out to me a lot in your reading because it's like, this is you. World is your oyster, and you're planning your kingdom here. You are really excited about your future. And it just feels like there's so many exciting, promising things going on for you, especially with the oyster. Like there's a pearl within you. Like excitement is bubbling up from the sea, in the distance, in the future, you even see more and more excitement and love and happiness bubbling up for you, Aquarius. It's a great reading. But I am definitely sensing an influence around you that is negative. And honestly, their energy also feels purposefully manipulative or malicious as well. With Torisaz in reversed, with the Magician in reversed as the center of your spread, this is someone who is intentionally trying to knock you off your throne. It's, I'm going to try to explain this a lot because I don't think you're getting it. Like, I'm getting resistance mentally from you a little bit. It's hard for you to understand that other people can think this way. I feel like you see the best in everyone, which is why you might be resisting this message a little bit, or like thinking like, oh, well, that maybe could apply to one person in my life, but it's not that bad. It might be that bad, guys. And I'm happy that you can't empathize with this way of thinking, and you can't understand that other people are actually like, they actually consciously, intentionally are like, I want to make that person less excited for their life. I want to make that person more insecure. It's hard to think that some people consciously have this thought, but it happens. So be aware of that. Also, I have a cup here with bats on it, and I just saw the bats, and I'm like, the spirit of bats themselves really stuck out to me for you guys. I've been drinking out of this cup all day, and it just stood out to me for your reading here. So I do feel like the spirit of bats are heavily with you at this time, helping you see in the dark. They can't see, but like, and that's the thing. Oh my gosh, definitely, the bat spirit is with you, hands down. That's the thing. You can't see the way that these people see things, okay? You simply will never understand how people consciously think like this. Like, I want to knock that person down. I want that person to be insecure. I want that person to stoop lower than me. It's so, you literally do not have the ability to think that way. Just how bats are literally blind. They simply cannot see. But they can navigate in the shadows. They can navigate in the dark. And that's why the bat spirit is connecting with you right now, because they're like, listen, just because you can't see the way that they are seeing things, that doesn't mean that you just shouldn't acknowledge what's going on here. You can still acknowledge what's going on here and empathize to the best of your ability with them, to forgive them and let them go. So I feel like the bat spirit is working very, very heavily with you right now, helping you to acknowledge and be able to see people in your life who may not have your best intentions and your best interests within them. And the bat spirit is asking you and helping you to move on from these people and also go within and follow your own intuition. That's another thing that bats are all good about. They get around perfectly fine in the sky using their own, whatever the heck that is, their own solar radar, whatever the heck. That none of those were the right words. I don't know. They get around using their own abilities, and that is something within themselves. If they try to navigate through the shadows, through the darkness, by like following other people and following other bats, they're just going to constantly run into obstacles. So the bat spirit is teaching you to listen to your intuition, your own advice this month. I feel like many of you might be, I'm not going to say codependent, but like very heavily, it's important to you to get the input of people around you, of your loved ones, of the people closest. Like, what do you think? What do you think? And then you use all of those advices as like your brain almost is like an algorithm that comes up with the best solution from there. And you could even like look up advice online too, and all of this information external to you, your brain puts it into its little computer and it's like, okay, here is the median of all this advice and we are going to go with that. And the bat spirit is trying to take that habit out of your head. Just stop entirely. And it's trying to teach you how to literally just ask yourself for advice and follow the advice that comes from within, because your intuition, 100% accurate all of the time, if you know how to follow it. So I do see your intuition getting louder and clearer this month. You do have spirits working with you to help you follow your own counsel, your own intuition. So that is beautiful. And yeah, that's your reading, guys. Thank you for joining me. This is a really good month for you. I just want to clarify that. This is a good month for you. We saw an amazing, amazing relationship for you, love deepening, and we saw you like taking on the world. Like, I'm seeing so much for Aquarius, like future travel plans, a move, like your career taking off, like just, it feels like life is getting really exciting for you. And there are people who never change who are trying to bring that down. That's the only negative part of this reading, but it's not your negative energy that I'm picking up on. Your month is very, very positive. That's the thing. Like, you are great. This is an exciting month for you. The negative energy we picked up on in this reading is from people around you. Okay, so just clarifying that a bit. Thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear how this resonated down below. I'd be so interested. Watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus to get the fullest overview of this month ahead. And if you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my spiritual life coaching sessions there and my goddess energy intention oil. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.